All right. We are live. Welcome on in. Fixing my lighting here. My apologies, y'all. We're going to get a couple quick disclaimers out of the way. Then we're going to jump right into the live show because there is so much to talk about. And that's actually where I want to start with a couple quick disclaimers. Sorry that I'm a couple days late on this, you guys. I know that, no excuses, play like a champion, but I literally uploaded almost every day since I got back from my media day trip. So I just needed a couple of days to take a break and rest. That's why I didn't talk about Ryan Dunn's 6 threes and all that. And, all of our most of our starters were out that night, if not all of them were out that night against the Nuggets. So I just figured, hey, I'll talk about it another time. But I still got a lot planned for you guys for this show. That's just a quick disclaimer, but I got my rest in. I'm ready now to get some more videos and content out to you guys. And we're definitely going to have a great live show in this live show. And then also another quick disclaimer, you guys. I have a special announcement that I'm going to announce at the end of this show. So stay tuned for that. Cannot wait. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody that is in here. Also, we are live on Facebook and on Instagram. So thank you to everybody who is watching along live on Facebook and Instagram as well. I appreciate you guys. And let me just double check real quick. Slayer's Icon, I appreciate you being here. Jordan, thank you for being here. David, Suns Fever 83 says looking and sounding good. I really appreciate that, guys. Also, one more quick disclaimer. If this microphone right here that I'm pointing at is not working, please let me know, you guys. It would really help me out. Jordan says, no worries, bro. A rest is always needed, for real. Especially a rest right before the NBA season. I'm going to need all the rest that I can get. You know what I mean? All right, you guys. Disclaimers are finally out of the way. I'm 2 days late on this. My apologies. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about Phoenix Suns rookie Ryan Dunn. Oh my goodness, you guys. And I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Versus the Denver Nuggets. With, I believe the Nuggets had all of their, well, if not all, if not most of their team healthy, like Jokic played, Jamal Murray played, Michael Porter Jr., et cetera, et cetera. Versus the Denver Nuggets, Ryan Dunn made 6 threes, attempted 11. I'm going to talk about the attempts later, but he made 6. You guys remember back in the day when like Devin Booker couldn't seem to break his like record of 6 threes in the game? Ryan Dunn did that in what, his 3rd or 4th preseason game? Are you kidding me? I sound like Skip Bayless. Are you kidding me? That was a terrible Skip Bayless impression. I'm sorry. But anyways, 20 freaking points, 6 threes, 11 attempted. Oh, and you guys are probably like, oh, well, Suns Geek, it's just preseason. Anybody can get hot in the NBA. Well, guess what, you guys? He did it on both ends of the floor. 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Ryan Dunn literally did everything. Like, there's nothing else you could have asked him to do in that game, in my personal opinion. He was awesome on both sides of the floor. And we're talking about a 20-year-old rookie, I think. I think he's 20. Somebody fact check me if I'm wrong about that. He did that. And look, I think it was in the Pistons game that I was live for. He didn't have like the best game, but he's had a couple good preseason games here and there. He's had some really good moments, like the game where he locked up Cade Cunningham on a couple of different occasions and blocked Cade Cunningham's shot, for example, and then ran right down the floor and launched a 3 and looked back at the bench when he made it. Like, this kid is putting in the work, and we're going to react to some clips later about that. I'm sorry, I have to fix my lighting. This is just not working. The light that I have is like way too bright. So I turned on another light over here, and it's just, I got to figure out my lighting, but whatever. This kid is awesome. And I also really like his maturity, his attitude, if you will. Like rookies are going to be rookies. I know he's an adult, but he's a kid. Let's be real. He's a kid in the NBA world. And but he just seems really mature. He seems locked in. And I remember like when we first drafted him and those like clips were coming out, he's like, thank you so much. I'm so thankful to be here. And like, I'm gonna stay locked in the gym, for example. Like that's the kind of thing my mic's muffling. I'm sorry, guys. It's probably because I gotta get that fixed too. So if anybody knows like an audio engineer that can help me, I'd appreciate it. Okay, is it still static? What's going on, y'all? Appreciate everybody that let me know about that. What was I talking about? Ryan Dunn being awesome, because he is. Cool. All right, hopefully the mic's better. My apologies, y'all. I don't know what was going on there. Take a shot for every time I've said one-man show, and you would be wasted. Anyways, Legends Productions, appreciate you being here, man. Go check out Legends Productions. He uploads great work. Appreciate that. Shout out to my guy John from the Suns Jam Session podcast. Appreciate you all being here. Slayer's Icon, Jordan. Thank you guys. All right, y'all. Let's do this. So I want to react to a couple of things. Actually, I take that back. I don't want to react to a couple of things. We got like 20 things to react to. But let's actually start with something that happened in practice today. We're going to react to two different clips here. And actually, before we do that, I want to read you guys a couple of quotes that Ryan Dunn said. Now, I think he said this after the game against the Nuggets, and he said, and I quote, "Just keep doing my role, playing defense, trying to get stops, and then just try to hit open shots." I love that. That sounds like a veteran right there, and this is a 20-year-old rookie. And then we're going to dive into some clips here in a minute, but at practice today, I think it was Kellen Olson who asked him, is there really anything different that's going on with your shot and all of that? Like, is there any difference between now and college? And I'm paraphrasing here, but Ryan Dunn basically said it's the balance in his shot, the concepts, the footwork, and he mentioned balance again. And and the absolute last part that I love that he said, and I put this as a banner in my last 3 live shows. You see here, the Suns let it fly. Ryan said, "Keep letting it fly." Ryan Dunn is letting the 3 fly, but you can tell, and he was talking about how there is a little bit of difference in his shot. And you know what, you guys? That just comes from reps, from practice, from working with players like Kevin Durant during the offseason and working with like the shooting coaches of the Suns and really everybody who's willing to help him, and him just staying locked in the gym and getting up threes in practice, which we're going to talk about in a minute here. That's going to happen. Your shot will change. Like I mentioned, he said balance in his shot, the concepts of shooting, the footwork, and the balance. Keep letting it fly. Ryan Dunn, who, by the way, this isn't anything to brag about, but he viewed my Instagram story the other day, which that's kind of cool. And apparently he's checking out like a lot of people's Instagram stories. So he must love the, all the praise that he's getting. And he really deserves it, y'all. All right, let's finally react to a couple of clips. Now, I believe a lot of this was at practice today. Excuse me. So this comes from Dwayne Rankin. And, obviously on Twitter, things go pretty viral, but I feel like this is kind of going viral in the Suns community. Let me just share it real quick, y'all. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. How's everybody's Tuesday night going? Please let me know how your Tuesday night is going. Okay, so yeah, this is what Ryan Dunn did earlier. Dwayne Rankin tweets out, so Josh Okogie said, "I ain't ever see Ryan hit 10 in a row. Rookie Ryan Dunn just did it. Reaction incoming." So let's go ahead and watch Ryan Dunn drain 10 threes in a row. Here we go. So it's kind of hard to hear, but apparently Josh Okogie said, I ain't ever seen Ryan make 10 threes in a row. The everyday non-expert, appreciate you being here, says, my first live of the season. Let's go. I appreciate you, man. But that's pretty cool. Ryan Dunn making 10 threes in a row. And not just that, y'all, because I know there's a lot of critics out there. People are like, oh, it's an open gym. He's not being guarded. Well, guess what? This kid is continuing to put in the work. This clip comes from Kellen Olson, who was also at practice today, and I'll full screen it so you guys can see it. Kellen tweets out, extra shooting work for Ryan Dunn after practice, got up threes with a group, and is now getting a few more up of his own. Are you kidding me, Ryan Dunn? Let's watch him shoot these threes. Remember, this is after practice. And apparently he was shooting threes with a group and then got up even more shots afterwards. Ryan Dunn. Oh, wait, I got to move my thing. I'm sorry, y'all. But Ryan Dunn, please keep shooting the threes. Sorry, y'all. Let me fix my camera so you guys can actually see him shoot. I don't know what's going on. Technical difficulties, but whatever. Look at him. Look at him, man. Keep shooting these threes, Ryan Dunn. Keep shooting the threes. There's some weird people in the chat, y'all. There's some weird people in the chat. Oh my God. Look at this, y'all. This is crazy. Ryan Dunn, dude. Oh my God. All right, y'all. So let's keep going because there's some other things I want to react to. But this is awesome. I just love what I'm seeing from this kid. And not only do I love what I'm seeing, but as I mentioned earlier, I just love what I've been hearing from Ryan Dunn. And yes, Jordan, didn't Ryan Dunn and Katie work together all summer? I don't know if it was all summer, but they did. There was that like clip that went viral. I don't know if it was like Swish Cultures or one of those like accounts posted it. He was working with Kevin Durant during the offseason. And I'm kind of glad you said this, Jordan, because one thing we have to remember, especially with rookies, is usually they will stay in whatever team, state, or city drafts them. And they were literally just, for the most part, lock themselves in a gym or go other places in their state or city, and they will practice. And Mike Budenholzer kind of referenced that. He referenced that like earlier during training camp. He was like, during September, a lot of these guys were in town in the gyms, mainly working on offense. So I think that that's what Ryan Dunn did. Whether or not Kevin Durant was there, he was in the gym practicing. So, and I think that kind of gets a little overlooked sometimes, especially with the younger players. Like they literally just stay in town. Even Bol Bol's been in the league for what, a few years now. And even he stayed in Phoenix throughout most of his summer and just worked on his game. So just thought I would mention that. Joven, I hope I said your name right. I will get to that question later. Well, you know what? I'll just answer it right now. Suns Geek, what player do you want Ryan to guard? I want to see Luka. So I sort of talked about this when I was live with the Suns Jam Session podcast. Shout out to my guy, John, if you're still watching. I don't want to put unrealistic expectations on Ryan Dunn. And I sort of referenced this. I might have been getting a little carried away when I said it, but I kind of meant it. I do want to see him guard the Lukas of this game. And, like the LeBrons or who am I forgetting? Like the Anthony Edwards, and maybe the SGAs of this league. But at the same time, I mean, we're talking about like superstars going up against a 20-year-old rookie with extremely high-level defensive potential. And if the defense is as good as it's looking in preseason, then yeah, you want Ryan Dunn to go up against the Lukas of this game. But at the same time, I don't know if like, I don't want to put that much pressure on him, but I will say this, and I think he might have talked about it recently. I don't think he talked about it in practice today, but I think he talked about it recently, that he wants to accept those kind of challenges. But again, you know, he's a 20-something-year-old rookie. Let's give the kid some time. But, you know, there might come some scenarios where he's going to have to. Like, what if Luka's coming off a pick and Ryan Dunn switches on him? Or maybe Mike Budenholzer's like, all right, kid, show me what you got. Go guard Luka. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys want Ryan Dunn guarding the Lukas and the LeBrons and the Anthony Edwards and et cetera of this league. Please let me know. Okay, let's move on here. We already did the... Okay, I want to react to this clip too. I really like this clip. And it's just a quick clip. I do want to react to it. So we're just going to kind of watch it over and over again. But I do want to react to it. So first off, let's just watch the clip first. I'm sure you guys already saw this because it was during the game. And let me make sure it looks good on my end too. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Ryan Dunn, this was the 6-3 right here. This was that corner kind of dagger 3 that he made. So first off, watch the reaction from Ryan Dunn, and then watch who dabs him up to congratulate him first. Watch who dabs up Ryan Dunn first. So Ryan Dunn makes the corner 3, bang, and then look at this. Let me just pause it right there. Who is that, you guys? Oh, is that soon-to-be NBA Hall of Famer Kevin Durant, first ballot Hall of Famer, NBA superstar, Phoenix Suns superstar Kevin Durant, dabbing him up after that corner 3. Look at that. Let's just watch the play again. I'm going to lower the audio, but look at that. Makes the 3. Kevin Durant's right there. And if you look kind of closely, Damian Lee runs past some of the other bench players to go congratulate him as well. I love that. And I think that was Monte Morris that was getting hyped for him as well. Like, I love this clip, you guys. And I referenced it earlier. It was either in his second preseason game or third preseason game or whatever it was, where I think he like blocked Cade Cunningham or something, took the ball up himself, drained the 3, literally looked back at the bench when he made it. Like, I love that stuff, y'all. Ryan Dunn, Phoenix Suns rookie, Ryan Dunn. I love it, y'all. I love what I'm seeing from this kid. So speaking of that, let's dive into some numbers and some other stuff here. If you guys would have told me the day we drafted Ryan Dunn that I would be doing a live show and ranting about him for nearly 15, 20 minutes, I mean, I wouldn't have called you crazy, but it would have been hard to believe because I don't think any of us predicted that, you know, he would have made 6 threes in his 3rd or 4th preseason game, right? Let me read you guys some stats and facts. So I believe Gerald Bourguet tweeted this out. Shout out to the PHNX Suns crew. Shout out to Gerald for this tweet. And I think this was, okay. So I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. I think this was after he hit his 6-3, but the point being is this. Gerald tweeted this out. And let me just zoom in so you guys can see it. Okay. Let me see if this make sure if this looks good. Yeah, you guys can see that, right? Put myself there. Cool. So Ryan Dunn has already made more 3-pointers in 13 quarters of NBA preseason action, 8, than he did in all 35 games he played at Virginia, 7. That's crazy. And he quote tweeted himself saying, Ryan Dunn has made 5 threes so far in his first 2 preseason games. That was October 8th. He made 7 total in 35 games at Virginia last season. He made 7 total in 35 games for Virginia last season. He's already made more 3-pointers in 13 quarters of NBA preseason basketball than he did his whole time at Virginia. That is nuts. I said this before, and I'll say it again, because I'm sure Ryan Dunn is way too busy to be watching my show. But Ryan Dunn, if you're watching at all, please keep letting the three fly. Especially since, we're 3 or 4 preseason games in now, 4 preseason games, about to be 5. And the message is very clear from the coaching staff to the players that the Suns are going to let the three fly. More on that in a little bit, by the way, about the threes. Let's actually jump to that right now. A few stats and facts and some tweets I want to react to. Shout out to Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic. I met him at Media Day. He was very nice, very awesome. I love this tweet. The Suns took 51 shots from 3 in Sunday's preseason win at Denver. Let me just repeat the number there. 51. The Suns took 51 threes in Sunday's game against the Nuggets. And he said the most they took last regular season, 50 against the shorthanded Clippers late in the season in Los Angeles. You guys remember that game? Like, it was super late in the season. Things were like, I don't want to revisit it. I don't want to go back to that. But I remember that game. I do remember that game against the Clippers. 51 threes, y'all, we attempted. That's nuts. Oh my God, you guys. I love it. Let's see here. A couple other things I want to get to. Shout out to Shane Young. Sort of a similar tweet here, but I did want to read it to you guys. The Suns just took 53s, which was 55% of their shot distribution. I can't talk. I have ascended to heaven. Missoula ball has influenced the valley, and it is beautiful. Shout out to Shane Young for that great tweet. The Suns took 53s, which was 55% of their shots. That is wild. And then Bobby Marks had a tweet here. I think this is a couple of tweets. And he says, interesting trend to follow with Ryan Dunn in Phoenix. 3-point attempts in Virginia. In the 2022-23 season, he attempted 16. Last season, he attempted 35. We talked about that. 3-point attempts, Phoenix. 2024, 2025, 27. I know it's a lot of numbers. He says Dunn shot 6 for 11 from 3 on Sunday, which is 44% in the preseason. His 12 makes from 3 in the preseason equal his 2 years at Virginia. So I guess what I'm trying to say to you guys is, wait for it. Where is it? Oh no. Yeah. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this.
A lot of boring math later.
It's a lot of boring math, and I need to take a sip of my water. But Ryan Dunn, please keep launching those threes. Delicious. By the way, guys, if you have a comment or a question, I will try to get to it. We still have a lot more to talk about, and we're almost 30 minutes in. So I will do my best to try to get to your guys' comments and questions. And thank you to everybody who let me know about the microphone earlier. I do apologize for that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Let me take a deep breath for a minute, you guys. Shout out to Aussie Suns fans who's watching along on Instagram. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody who's watching along live. Also, you guys, you know what? Random question. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you watching from Arizona? Are you watching from a different state? Are you watching from a different country? Please let me know. Please. Okay. Let's move on here. One more tweet, actually a couple more tweets. Then we'll kind of move on from Ryan Dunn. John, I don't know if you're still watching. Shout out to the Suns Jam Session podcast. But a great tweet from John here. He says, Ryan Dunn is now 12 of 27 shooting from beyond the arc this preseason, 44%, which we kind of talked about. That's what Bobby Marks tweeted, but he says, and has attempted the most threes on the team through 4 games. Suns rookie Ryan Dunn has attempted the most threes so far in the preseason. And again, he's shooting 44% from 3. He's made 12 of them. He made 6 in his last game. I love this kid. Shout out to John for that tweet. And you know what? I just want to quickly read you guys some tweets just about that Nugget. Well, it's some quotes, really, not tweets, but it's some quotes. So speaking of the Suns Nuggets game, Michael Malone, the Nuggets head coach, had a lot to say after that game. I'm going to read you guys a couple quotes here. One of the best quotes, I think it was like a halftime or like a end of the third quarter interview. And he said, and I quote, "We just gave up 37 points to their third squad." I think he meant to say like second squad, but we were down and then we scored like a 37-point quarter, and Michael Malone was not happy. And he didn't seem too happy after the game because he said some stuff like this. Now, this is actually a quote from the Denver Gazette, but there is a Michael Malone quote I want to read to you guys. Quote, "The problem that persisted came from the three-point line. After Boston made 38 three-pointers to Denver's 20 in the first 2 preseason games, the Suns made 23 on 50 attempts." Remember, this is coming from the Denver Gazette. "To Denver's 12 on 36 tries. The 33-point difference from the three-point line more than covered the margin of victory on a night Phoenix rested Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Yusuf Nurkic, while Denver played its expected starting 5. And then Michael Malone said after the game, and I quote, "We dominated the glass, dominated the paint, but we got our ass kicked from 3. That's not a joke. That's an actual quote." And I mean, I feel like I could spend a whole live show or a podcast or whatever talking about the Nuggets alone. I think the Nuggets are going to be very good. Don't get me wrong. But, they've lost a lot of pieces over the years. Bruce Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a few other guys. They're really banking on their young talent. And I know it's just preseason. And look, I love Russell Westbrook. I like that addition. I like the addition of former Phoenix Sun Dario Saric. But I've watched a couple of their preseason games. They haven't looked that good. Just saying. Anyways, this isn't a Nuggets show. This is a Sun show. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So in short, you guys, like I said before, it's just a lot of this.
A lot of boring math later.
That's pretty much Ryan Dunn, his preseason so far. A lot of boring math, but damn it, he's launching that 3, and I absolutely love it. I got to take a sip of my water. Okay. With all due respect to Ryan Dunn, we are going to move on a little bit because I got some other stuff I want to talk about. Let's talk about Monte Morris, who I think, now I know he's been in the league for a few years and everything. I think Monte Morris is having a little bit of a overlooked preseason. And speaking of Monte Morris, let's play his drop that I made for him.
My mom would always be on me about taking care of the basketball. She would say, don't let them steal my purse from you. So I kind of treat the ball like my mama first. I try to just keep everything, intact with that.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
I love that drop. Inspired by the Suns Jam Session podcast. That's one of the best drops that I've ever made. I love it. But you guys, Monte Morris. And look, I know it's just preseason, and I know it's just the numbers. I don't have his actual preseason stats per game in front of me, but let me just read you guys some numbers. he put up, I think this was his first preseason game, 4 points. I think it was four assists, and I think he had 8 rebounds or something. Then he had 3 points, 5 assists, etc., 3 rebounds. Then 4 points, 3 points, whatever, not too good. But his last game when he started, this was the game when Ryan Dunn hit 6 threes against the Nuggets. He had 20 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. And throughout most of the preseason, he's had a few steals, a few blocks. I think he had a block this preseason. And sort of like Tyus Jones, from the highlights that I have seen and the games that I've watched, he just seems under control. Players are going to turn the ball over. Even Tyus Jones, who never turns the ball over, right? It's going to happen. It's preseason. That's why you work out the kinks. But he just seems in control. And Monte Morris actually liked a tweet of mine. I didn't even tweet it at him. I just tweeted it. I said, the Monte Morris and Mason Plumlee connection is real. Because there's been a lot of times those two have connected on offense, and the chemistry shows. But there's just times where he just seems like he's in control. He knows when to take the right shot. He knows when to pass. And again, I know it's not all about the numbers, and I know those weren't the most impressive preseason numbers, but a lot of it was assists. A lot of it was scoring when he needs to score. And I think I mean this respectfully, but I think he's having an overlooked preseason because the Suns right now have a lot of new shiny toys. And the newest shiny toy is Ryan Dunn. And obviously, Monte Morris has been coming off of the bench. So I think he's having an overlooked preseason, but I think that's okay. He's been pretty good in my opinion. And that's coming off, even though Tyus Jones only played in three games or whatever, that's backing up Tyus Jones. And I'm okay with that. Having Monte Morris as your backup point guard on a team that is running and gunning and launching threes, that is huge. I had to talk about Monte Morris, man. I think he's having a really good preseason. I hope he keeps it up. And again, let's just play the Monte Morris drop because I love it. I'm going to play this a million times.
My mom would always be on me about taking care of the basketball. She would say, don't let them steal my purse from me. So I kind of treat the ball like my mama first. I try to just keep everything, intact with that.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
I like Mark's comment. I don't know you, kick. That's great. Shout out to Monte Morris, man. Slayer's Icon says, Morris impressed me a lot previous game. That's what I'm saying. Again, I know the numbers weren't great that I read to you guys, but go look at last game especially. He has been really, really good. And I do have one tweet that sort of inspired this segment. It kind of made me really take a look closer at Monte Morris. And that was somebody who was already looking at him pretty closely. You know how everybody right now is sort of overhyping Ryan Dunn, and I say that respectfully because I'm kind of overhyping him too. Everyone's like, oh, Ryan Dunn's the steal of the draft. Ryan Dunn this. Well, you know what? I think the Suns got another steal in Monte Morris. Shout out to Stunna999 _ on Twitter. Great follow on Twitter, by the way. Tweets out right here. Monte Morris is still a dog. Can't believe the Suns got him for a minimum. Guys, 20 points, 7 assists on good shooting. Helped us come back and beat the Nuggets who were fully healthy. Shout out to Monte Morris. He deserved this segment. He deserved it, man. He's been playing great. All right, y'all. We're going to get to some other things here. A few Suns related things, a few NBA related things. And then I'll try to answer some questions if you guys got them. I have a few that I do want to get to already. If you guys got a comment, question, concern, that's why I do these shows for you guys, because I'm here for you. I want to hear from you guys. So again, comments, questions, concerns. Even if it's not a Suns question, you got an NBA question, let me know. I'll do my best to answer it. Brandon, I appreciate you being here, man. I will definitely I'll get to, you know what? I'll just get to that question now because we are going to kind of transition here, and I'll see if there's any other Ryan Dunn questions. So shout out to my guy, Brandon. I appreciate you being here, man. He says, I read an article saying Ryan Dunn is the next Mikal Bridges. Do you agree? So I have that article saved. I'm going to read it later. And look, maybe that article made some great points. I'm a little on the fence. I see the vision because what was Ryan Dunn coming out of college? A 3-and-D wing player. Mikal Bridges is a really good 3-and-D wing player. We all know that. We're Suns fans. We watched Mikal Bridges grow up in front of our eyes. The potential is there. He definitely could be a Mikal Bridges replacement. Is it fair to say maybe a Mikal Bridges prototype? You know what I mean? But if Ryan, and I'm not saying Mikal Bridges didn't do this, but like if Ryan Dunn just keeps working on his game and gets better in every area of his game, maybe he could be the next Mikal Bridges. Maybe he could be better. I don't know. But I sort of want to like cool the jets a bit. And this is coming from a very optimistic Suns fan, that it is just preseason. And, you know, when Nurkic gets healthy and Grayson Allen comes back, the minutes might look different. You know, it's still, you know, we still have regular season basketball. And don't get me wrong, Ryan Dunn has earned those minutes. But like, you know, you got the veterans in front of you. That's what I'm saying. Jordan, I see your comment. I'll get to that. He says there seems to be a lot of potential. I want him to be his own guy, though. Exactly. If I was talking to Ryan Dunn right now, I think he would say the same thing. If we were all talking to Ryan Dunn and we were talking to him about the Mikal Bridges comparisons, he would probably say exactly what this comment says right here. I want to be my own guy. I want to be my own player. I'm sure he's got a lot of respect for Mikal Bridges, but I think he wants to be his own player. Great question. I appreciate that. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more Ryan Dunn questions. Again, if I miss them, I'll try to get back to them. Okay, we answered that one already. Okay. Yeah. So again, you guys, any questions, comments, concerns, get them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Okay. Let's move on here. Just some other Suns and NBA related things. Let's talk about the latest injuries. And I sort of mentioned it before with Nurkic and Grayson Allen, who, again, I love Ryan Dunn. I love Monte Morris. I love Oso Ighodaro, et cetera, et cetera. I'm hyped for these new guys. Can't wait to see them. But I do just want to remind Suns fans that Nurkic and Grayson Allen are hopefully going to be coming back soon, and that will change a lot of the rosters and rotation, or not roster, a lot of the rotations and playing time. So shout out to Kellen Olson from the Arizona Sports, who says Mike Budenholzer said Devin Booker is ready to go. Yusuf Nurkic and Grayson Allen haven't done any contact work yet, so there is still some, I think he meant to say, some time left in their recovery. But he also followed that tweet up by saying Budenholzer credited both Allen and Nurkic for doing their conditioning to stay ready off the floor. And I think that second tweet is most important. Budenholzer credited both Allen and Nurkic for doing the conditioning work to stay ready off the floor. And yeah, Mug says, what happened with Grayson? It is an Achilles injury, which, again, I'm not a doctor. I will never be a doctor, but that kind of scares me a little bit. I hope Grayson's okay. You know, he obviously put on a ton of muscle this offseason, but he has had a injury history a little bit. Although he was one of our healthiest players last season. I think people forget that. So was Nurkic, by the way. So first off, I hope that they're both okay. And I just hope that they will come back soon. But you guys, I don't mean to sound too optimistic here, but like, it is just preseason. The regular season hasn't even started yet. And Nurkic's injury is a finger injury. So I really hope that Nurkic has been, doing conditioning. And obviously they probably don't want him using whatever, I don't know if it's his left hand or right hand, but whatever finger is injured, they probably don't want him using that hand, but maybe he's doing work with the other hand. I don't know. We'll just see. I can't wait to see use of Nurkic. I hope Grayson Allen and Nurkic come back soon. I hope we stay healthy throughout the rest of the preseason and come back soon, Grayson Allen and Yusuf Nurkic. Because again, I love Ryan Dunn. I love all the hype that he's been getting. And I love what I've been seeing throughout the preseason for the Suns so far. But the rotations and the Suns will look different when these guys come back. And hopefully they look even better than they did. Y'all, do me a huge favor. Crush that like button. Please share the show. Tell people about Suns Geek. Word of mouth is always good. Share the show. Click like. If you're watching on Instagram, just say something nice, y'all. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Please crush that like button, y'all. Great comment from Jordan here. Mike Budd has really good chemistry with this team and is looking very promising. I agree, man, especially so far. And there was a lot. If you listen to the media day interviews, if you've listened to what players have said so far, they have said nothing but good things about Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer. And it's not just the players. It's Suns owner Matt Ishbia. It's our CEO Josh Bartelstein, James Jones. They are all saying great things about Mike Budenholzer. And you know what? I want to read you guys a quote here. I wrote this down the other day because I was just kind of doing some research and catching up on some things. This was from Matt Ishbia on Media Day. And I wish I would have clipped this and uploaded it, but he said, and I quote, "We feel great about Coach Bud. He's been amazing. We have really high expectations for him, and he's going to accomplish and what he's going to accomplish here. And to be honest with you, he's exceeded those expectations so far. We haven't even started yet." Remember, this was at Media Day. "We still have a lot of things to do, but everything he's doing, the details, the leadership, the execution, super, super happy with Coach Bud." That was Suns owner Matt Ishbia who said that. And I think the key quote or the key words in that quote there were this right here, where he says he's exceeded those expectations so far. And then he said, the details, the leadership, the execution, super, super happy with Coach Bud. I think that was Mike Budenholzer, or not, that was Matt Ishbia who said that. Yeah, it was Matt Ishbia. I'm sorry. But yeah, you guys get my point. Great things from Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer so far. Okay. Let's see. Let me get to a few other things. The Suns made a couple small roster moves, nothing crazy, but I think it's at least spending a minute on. Here is the Suns' updated roster. Again, shout out to Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic. I'm going to kind of zoom out on this tweet so you guys can see the full roster, but the Suns recently waived Moses Wood, and I hope I say this name right, Mamade Diakite. I probably just butchered that. So the Suns waived Moses Wood, Mamade Diakite, puts them in the situation which Frank Kaminsky is somebody they could pick up with their final spot of the 15-man standard roster. Ty Washington, Jalen Bridges, and Colin Gillespie are their two players. And for anybody who cares, I finally learned how to say Colin Gillespie's name. It's not Gillespie, it's Colin Gillespie. I'm so sorry I butchered that. But yeah, here is the Suns' current roster as of what's today, Tuesday, October 15th at my time, 9:32 p.m. That's the Suns' updated roster. And you have to have 15 or under 15 players, I believe, to start the season. you can go into training camp with 21, if not more players. That's fine. Like I think the Suns had like 20 something players during training camp and during the preseason, but they moved on from Moses Wood and Diakite, but now we'll see. I mean, I think Jalen Bridges is on a 2-way contract. So it's Ty Washington, Jalen Bridges, and Colin Gillespie who are on 2 ways. So does Frank Kaminsky get that final roster spot? I think Coach Budenholzer recently said some good things about him. We'll see. All right. Let's move on here. This is sort of more of the fun section. Then we're going to dive into some actual NBA things here. So shout out to Suns Uni Tracker. And I know I've made a video about this. I've made YouTube shorts about it, but we're just going to react to it real quick. 2 things we're going to react to from Suns Uni Tracker. He just posted this tweet today. It's more of a picture. So I'm going to just pull up the picture so you guys can see. And he says, new Suns City Edition out early at Dick's Sporting Goods in surprise. So hopefully you guys can see that picture okay. But yeah, there's the Sun City Edition jerseys. And if you follow my channel, I made a YouTube short about these and, I've tweeted about them. I've made videos. Here's just another look at the Suns City Edition jerseys for this year. The Valley jerseys mixed in with the 1995 All-Star, weekend jerseys and all that. And you know what? I know these are getting a lot of hate. I know they're getting a lot of mixed reviews. I don't care. I like them. I just wish they had the cactus. But speaking of that, Suns Uni Tracker also had a cool tweet today, or it might have been yesterday or today or whatever. Now, again, this is just a concept. Who knows if this is going to be real or not? It is just a concept. But I wanted to react to it because if you guys know me, you guys know I love my NBA All-Star Weekend stuff, especially the 1995 NBA All-Star Game, which was in Phoenix. Check this out, y'all. This is just a City Edition court concept from Suns Uni Tracker. And I'm going to completely take myself away from the screen so you guys can just see this in all of its beautiful glory. Check that out, y'all. That is pretty cool. He says the Suns will have a City Edition court to match the uniforms. Here's hoping it looks like this. Are you kidding me? That would be freaking awesome if this is what the court looked like. Especially look at the middle. Look at the cactus and the star right there. Look at the purple court. Or not the purple court, where the 3-point line is and the mid-range and everything. Look at the huge jumbotron, the stripes going down, the star and the cactus again. Oh, and look at the, the out of bounds line and where the players sit. Look at that. The stripes and everything. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Please. And if you look closely, you can see the Valley font in there too. It's a beautiful concept. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I love this concept. I hope they do a version of this, or at least put the cactus in the middle, with the star. Do something like this. Please. I'm sure they're cooking something up, but please let something like this happen. Okay. Let's see. So I don't normally react to stuff like this. And I didn't read the full article, but I am just going to read you guys this tweet here. This comes from NBA Central, not NBA Central, that trolling one. This is from NBA Central, who says, an anonymous NBA executive says the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the West. Quote, the team to beat in the West is Phoenix. Believe it or not, I think their top-end talent is just ready to make a move. KD, Booker are really, really good. They had an outlier year last year with trying to get everything working together. I think Mike Budenholzer and Tyus Jones are great additions. I think they will figure out a way to use some draft compensation and Yusuf Nurkic's contract to get even better in a trade. I think the team that emerges from the West in Phoenix, I believe in Kevin, I believe in Booker, I believe in Budenholzer, Denver, Dallas, Oklahoma City are options. I think the 1-2 punch in Phoenix is better than the 1-2 punch anywhere else. That comes from Mark J. Mendina, Sports Kita, Athlon Sports, the Sporting Tribune, Spectrum Radio, et cetera, et cetera. So, and he says that an anonymous NBA executive said that. Now, I try not to do too many predictions on this channel. I'm not really good with predictions. I try to stay away from the hot takes and all that, but I feel like that was worth reading. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments. Are the Phoenix Suns the best team in the West? I know the season hasn't even started yet. I know injuries will play a factor. I'm praying to the NBA gods that we stay healthy. But like, assuming injuries are not a factor, are we the best team in the West? Let me know. Please let me know. Okay. Let's get to a couple NBA related things. Lonzo Ball. You guys remember Lonzo Ball? Let me just share the screen real quick. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Yeah, Lonzo Ball, after missing 2 full seasons, 2 full years or whatever it is. This comes from Shams Charania. I would normally say Shams Charania of The Athletic, but he has now joined ESPN, I believe. Shams Charania says, after missing 2 straight NBA seasons, Chicago's Lonzo Ball is expected to make return to basketball on Wednesday versus Minnesota. Sources tell ESPN. A major comeback from a cartilage transplant surgery for Ball, who last played January 14th, 2022. I think I saw a post too. It was like a tweet or an Instagram post that was like the last time Lonzo played, like Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie were still on the Nets, like Donovan Mitchell was still with the Jazz, et cetera, et cetera. Like, man. So shout out to Lonzo Ball, man. I know this is easy to say now, but I've always been a Lonzo Ball fan, even during the whole LeVar Ball takeover. You guys remember like when LeVar Ball was like on ESPN and all that stuff, and he wouldn't shut his mouth? I was kind of cheering for the kid. I was like, I hope Lonzo Ball like enters the league, tells his dad, like, shut up, dad. Like, I want to have my own career and be my own player. Obviously, injuries have derailed his career, but I've always been a Lonzo Ball fan, man. I hope he stays healthy. Hope he has a good season. Shout out to Lonzo Ball, man. Speaking of injuries, unfortunately, and I'm not going to show you any photos or video because it's not necessarily gruesome, but it's not fun to look at either. Former Phoenix Sun Landry Shamet suffered a very rough shoulder injury tonight. I believe he was trying to block a layup, and I think he kind of got caught in between the player or something like that, and he held on to the ball a little too long, and his shoulder literally like popped out, and it's not fun. It's not fun to look at. And obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I will say this, you guys, if you know me on a personal level, I have had 2 shoulder injuries to my right shoulder. It is not fun. Shoulder injuries suck. And he looked like he was in a lot of pain. Prayers, big time prayers up for Landry Shamet, man. That was a gruesome injury. Watch at your own risk. I hope it sucks too, man, because I know a lot of Suns fans hate Landry Shamet. I know he had a bad season. Guess what? A lot of Suns players have had bad seasons, especially last year. I get it. They hate Landry Shamet, but y'all, I will always sort of defend Landry Shamet because I know he didn't hit any shots, but he would actually play hard. He would actually compete out there. And 2, I was kind of excited to see what he could do with that Knicks team, who obviously, made the Mikal Bridges trade, made the Karl Anthony Towns trade, re-signed OG Anunoby, et cetera, et cetera. He could have been a nice weapon for them coming off the bench, knock down a few threes, play hard. And I'm assuming he's probably going to miss some time. I don't think it's going to be like a season-ending injury, but it did look pretty bad. I really hope it's not a season-ending injury because, yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me get caught up with some comments and questions here, and then we will probably wrap up the show. But let me just make sure I didn't miss anything significant here. First off, remember earlier when I asked you guys where you're watching from? Alex says Rochester, New York. That's awesome. Jordan says from Florida. I hope you're safe over there, man. Let's see. Jordan, I'll get to your question in a little bit. I don't really have an answer, but I'll try to answer it somewhat. Jordan says literally just 1 week away till we play the Clippers. Yes, guys. I think the NBA season starts in less than 7 days, T-minus 7 days. The Suns play in like 8 days. I cannot believe it. Basketball is back in our lives. I love it. This is like one of the best times of the year. Halloween's coming up. Baseball, I mean, I know there's a lot of baseball fans out there, but baseball is coming. I think the World Series are going to be soon. Football is in full effect. I think the WNBA finals are going on right now. Like, this is the great time of year, y'all. College basketball is going to be starting soon. If not, it already started. I love it, man. Jordan says, I think our biggest threat this season is the Mavs. We will see. That is yet to be determined. But hey, you know what? In all fairness, they are the reigning Western Conference champions. So until proven otherwise, they are definitely a threat. I cannot wait to see Yusuf this season. He's going to be sneaky good. I agree. Brandon says, I want to know who you think the X factor will be this year. That's a great question, man. I don't know because I feel like we're going to have a lot of X factors. So I'm not going to dive too into it because I want to see him play because I don't think he's played at all this preseason. But Grayson Allen, I'm kind of banking and buying a lot of stock in Grayson Allen this season. So if he can stay healthy and sort of have the season that he had last year, but even better, because remember, he had an incredible season last year. He might be our X factor, but there's so many guys that I could talk about. Monte Morris, Bol maybe. I'm going to combine these two together. Oso and Ryan Dunn. I don't know. It's a great question. Let me know who your guys' X factor for the Suns is. Is it Tyus Jones? I don't know. Suns Geek. How do you feel if I told you that 6 of our best players out and the bench scored 118 points versus a championship level team who played who played starters 3.5 quarters. So let me try that again without butchering it. Suns Geek, how do you feel if I told you that 6 of our best players out and the bench scored 118 points versus a championship level team who played starters 3.5 quarters? That would be amazing. If you would have told me that on media day, I would have been like, dude, you're crazy. You're nuts. But it really happened. Go watch the highlights on YouTube. After this live show, go watch the highlights. Y'all, we're an hour in. We got a few more things to get to. Special announcement at the end of the show. Crush that like button. Let me take a sip of my water. Delicious. Let's see. Coach Bud was Coach Popovich's right-hand man when he was with the Spurs. Guys, Mike Budenholzer's coaching history is insane and goes back like decades. Coach Budenholzer has so much experience, y'all. It's not even funny. Coach Bud will be the real MVP this season. Consummate pro, born winner. I agree. Vibes are very good as opposed to last year when everything felt too serious. I agree. Especially, have you guys seen how much like fun Bradley Beal's having this preseason, you know? Zach James says, I just bought NBA League Pass so I can watch the Suns this season. That's awesome, man. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Shout out to my guy Todd, who says, I think we have a very good shot at being a top 3 seed with the possibility of being 1 if lots goes our way. Playoffs, I think, will be matchup dependent. Exactly. We're way too early to think about the playoffs, but I do get what you're saying. And a lot of these games and a lot of the way that Mike Budenholzer is going to kind of do his rotations, I honestly think is matchup dependent. You know, love or hate Frank Vogel did that a lot. And I think Monty Williams did. I think a lot of coaches do it because it's matchup dependent. And unfortunately, injuries are going to happen. And not just that, things are going to happen. And you have to kind of adjust your lineups accordingly to who you're playing. So shout out to Todd for that great comment, man. Okay. No, Slayers, it's okay, man. I get it. He says, Sons Geek, it's not your speaking. It's my terrible grammar and spelling I suck at. Trust me, Slayers Icon, don't beat yourself up, man. I am terrible with grammar. I suck at spelling too, dude. And you guys know me. Whether you're new or you've been watching this channel for years, you guys know me. I can't read. It's an inside joke on this channel, but it's real. I can't read. But I like to make it as an inside joke on this channel. Because you know what? Because who needs all this serious stuff? You know, when you can just come to Sons Geek here and you know, help me, you know, not read and be terrible at stuff like that. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. But you guys get the point. I can't read. Okay. Let's kind of wrap up the show here, y'all. And then I want to get to a special announcement. Let's end with this right here. Oh, here we go. Going back to the Lonzo thing. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I clicked out of something. I thought I clicked out of the show. I was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, so this is a shout out to 6 Rings of Steel, content creator, makes great NBA content. Go check him out. He said the last time Lonzo played, Ben Simmons was a 76er. The Nets had KD, Kyrie Harden, Evan Fournier, and Kemba Walker were the Knicks backcourt. That takes me back. Russell Westbrook was a Laker. I always forget that Russell Westbrook was a Laker for some reason. And he says Halliburton was a King and Sabonis was a Pacer. Oh my God. That's the last time that Lonzo Ball played. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. Shout out to six Rings of Steel on YouTube, man, and Twitter. He's a great Twitter follow as well, y'all. Okay, guys. Should we just get to the special announcement? I haven't. Okay, so where do I even begin with this? And I'm not trying to like overhype this. I'm just trying to think of how to choose I probably should have thought of this more clearly before I decided to talk about it in the live show, but whatever. You're all going to find out anyways. So special announcement, y'all. For those of you who know me on a personal level, you know that I lived in Phoenix for a couple decades, if not longer. And it was amazing. I loved Phoenix. Arizona is in my blood. It always will be. And I'm going to eventually announce this on social media. I'm just kind of finding a way to go about it. If you follow me on Facebook, it's already been announced. And I'm probably going to post it after this if you do follow me on Facebook. But I wanted to announce it here for all my subscribers because I know a lot of you guys have other things going on. Maybe you don't follow me on social media or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to announce it for you guys. And again, I'm going to go public with it anyways. You guys are going to find out anyways. And George says, special announcement, the Footprint Center sponsored you. No, that would be awesome. Matt Ishbia, if you're watching and you want to sponsor me, please do. That would help the production and everything go up a lot better. But I'm going to post on social media. You guys are going to find out anyways. But long, boring story short, I will fill you guys in with more details as it comes along. We are still in the very early stages of this, but I have a special announcement that I, Suns Geek, Brandon, we are moving back to Arizona. Like, it doesn't even seem real right now. I've lived in Memphis for the last 5 years. Like I said, I lived in Phoenix for like 2 decades. Spoiler alert, life happens. Things happen in life. Sometimes you have to move. And I've lived in Memphis for 5 years. To be honest with you guys, it hasn't been easy. My whole life was in Phoenix. It has not been easy. Things happened again. Things happened recently. And things move fast. We are moving back to Phoenix. No, I'm not Phoenix. I'm sorry. We're moving back to Arizona. The location is still yet to be determined, but we're moving back to Arizona, and that's all that matters. I don't care where we live in Arizona, you guys. I will be back in Arizona. I can go to Suns games. I can meet a lot of you guys. It's going to be awesome. I had to announce it here on YouTube because, again, without you guys, I'm just talking to the camera. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel, and I am thrilled to announce that I'm moving back to Arizona. Again, I'm going to announce it on social media at some point. And that's my special announcement. And I hope once I'm like settled in, I hope to like start collaborating more with like the Suns Jam and maybe PHNX and all these other places, you know, like get to really know a lot of the Suns podcasters and community in Arizona, and maybe attend more media day stuff if they let me. Because if you guys didn't know, I attended my first media day, hopefully the first of many. So we'll see. So I had to announce that. I'm hyped. And thank you to everybody who's commenting right now. Mug says, welcome back, brother. Thank you, man. Zach says, congrats. Slayer's Icon says, congrats, man. Lucky. Jordan says, bro, hope to see you there. I'll be moving back to AZ as soon. Well, that's awesome, man. I hope you do. I hope life puts the pieces together for you, and I hope you get to move back, man. Zach says, you get to watch a Suns game in person. Exactly, man. Like, again, whether you guys are a new subscriber or you've been with this channel a long time, I used to go to so many Suns games, y'all. I have videos on this channel of me at Suns games and certain Suns content like that, but I haven't been to a game in like 5 years, on the exception of when the Suns played the Grizzlies this past season. I think Booker dropped like 40, but that was a Grizzlies game. And speaking of that, I would like to go to a Grizzlies game, one more Grizzlies game before I move, but the Suns don't play them till February. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what if we're not living here? Like, I don't know, but maybe I'll just go to a random Grizzlies game one night, you know, because it might be my last one. Who knows? Michael says, back to the heat, though. You know what? I don't care. I do not care, y'all. I can deal with the heat. Cannot wait, man. I can't wait to be back. Congrats. Live your life at your best. And lucky you're going to have to go live in a state where your favorite team plays. I know, man. I can't wait. That's been another challenging thing, man, I think I've met one Suns fan in Memphis, and I've seen him twice. So I think he lives here, but I think I've met one Suns fan in Memphis. It's crazy. Like I wear Suns gear to work, and people look at me like I'm crazy, you know? Yeah, Jordan says, your last Suns game in person was before you moved to Memphis. Yeah, like 2019, I think. I don't even remember who they played, but yeah. So that's the special announcement, y'all. I don't want to overhype it, and eventually I'll announce it to social media, but it's awesome. I'm hyped. So I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it for the show. Great show. I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you guys for listening to my special announcement. And again, I'll keep you guys updated on everything. Just stay tuned. We're still in the very early stages of this. It's going to take some time. Obviously, I wish I could just pack my bags and be there tomorrow, but that's just not realistic. That's not going to happen. These things take time. All good things in life take time. And I have to be real with you guys. I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Praise God for allowing this to happen. I truly believe that God moved around the pieces and put things in order for this to happen. and this would not be possible without God. God's plans are better than ours. Please remember that. And yeah, you guys, I'm hyped. I'm overwhelmed. And even more good stuff. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, y'all. Can we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024? Can we do that? Let's try to do that. Like I said, you guys, please, the least y'all could do for me is word of mouth. Tell people about Sons Geek, y'all. Share the show. If you share the show, tag me in it. You know, click like, click subscribe, tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your aunts and your uncles, tell everybody, y'all, especially if they're basketball fans. All right, y'all, I'm done preaching to you guys. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Be kind to people, love people, and remember God's plans are bigger than ours, okay? I love you guys. Can't wait to see y'all in Phoenix one day, Phoenix or Arizona. I love you guys. Peace out. God bless. And as always, win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life, and go Suns.
What's up, Sons Geek?
What up, fellas? Yes, sir.